See, basically, let us once again see how this potential energy is calculated. Okay, let us just revise those things. Let us say this is the ground. Let me, this is the ground line. Okay, it's a flat ground. I'm just using, okay, it's a flat ground. There is one object of mass 2 kg at a height of 5 meter. Okay, so at that height, the object will have potential energy. It is denoted by U and it is given by mgh. So m is 2, g is 10, h is 5, 100 joules. Energy is measured in joules. So potential energy at that point is 100 joules. Suppose I ask you what is the potential energy of this mass. Let us say it has been dropped from this point. Now it is at the ground. Okay. In the second scenario, let us say it is on the ground like this. Then what is the potential energy? So again it is mgh only. 2 into 10 into 0. Why 0? Height is equal to 0. On the ground there is no height. Okay. Above the ground only height will be there. So 0. So what does this mean? On the ground the potential energy of any object is 0 only. Okay. When you go at higher point, the potential energy magnitude value is increasing. Value is increasing. Okay. From 0 it became 100. So this is how you are going to calculate the potential energy. Now always remember, whenever you are calculating the potential energy, you have to take a reference line always. Here I have taken ground as the reference. Here I have taken ground as the reference line. And you should always consider the vertical height, not the inclined height. While calculating potential energy, you should always consider the vertical height, not the inclined height. Now tell me something. Suppose this block 1 from here it came to here. Definitely some work must be done. Without doing no work, just by magic it will not come, right? So from location 1 to location 2, if it has come, location 2 is on the ground, location 1 is in the air. Some work must be done. So that work done can be expressed as difference of potential energies. So here 100 minus 0, PE1 is 100, PE2 is 0, 100 joules. See, work also is measured in joules. You can write in joules, you can write in Newton meter, both mean the same. Basically Newton meter. What is work? Force into distance. Force is Newton, distance is meter, Newton meter. Newton meter is also called as joule. Okay, so work done can be expressed as difference in potential energy. But while calculating potential energy, you must consider some reference line. It is, no matter how complicated problem, you should consider a reference line. Let us see another simple example. Okay, let us say there is some building like this. Okay, now building terrace. The top point of the building terrace is 10 meter from the ground, and the second point, this I am calling as point 2, is 4 meter from the ground. So initially the ball was in rest. There is a ball of mass 2 kg. U is equal to 0, and it rolled from this point to the first point to the second point. And suppose they ask you what is the velocity of the ball at this second point. So can we calculate the speed? So we can calculate the speed using work energy theorem. Okay, this is what I'm going to explain to you now. So this ball from location 1 to location 2, it has come. That means there must be some change in potential energy because some work is done. So you have to find PE1. PE1 is equal to mgh. You have to put the mass of the ball 2 kg gravity is 10 and height 10. Why I have taken 10? I am taking ground as the reference line, and you have to consider the vertical height. So that's why 10, 200 joules. Similarly, PE2, again mgh, m it is 2, mass is not changing, gravity is 10, height is 4. The second point as in the diagram is 4 meter above the ground. So it is 2 into 10, 20 into 4, 80 joules. Okay. So what is the work done? Difference in potential energy. So which is 120 joules. 200 minus 80, it is 120 joules. Now, as per the work energy theorem, we have learned that work can also be expressed as change in kinetic energy. You can write work as change in potential energy. That is one interpretation. You can also write work as change in kinetic energy. That is another interpretation. Okay, both are correct. So delta Ke means Kef minus Kei. Suffix F means final. Ke, kinetic energy final, minus kinetic energy initial. What is Kef? You see in the diagram. Here there is some speed. It has got some mass. So what is the kinetic energy at that point? At second point, it is half mv square. And at the first point, the top point here, there is no velocity. If there is no velocity, it is half m into 0 square. It means it is 0. So the mass given is 2. So half into 2 into v square. Finally, you are getting work as v square here. But you already calculated work. How much is it? 120 joules. So you can equate this and this. So v square is equal to 120. Why you are equating? Because both are works only, no? Same work. You are just writing in two different ways. So here you are getting v is equal to root over 120 meter per second. Meter per second. Okay. So okay, now let us see some basic examples of how to find the work. Imagine there is a block on the ground. The ground is flat. Okay, and a force of 20 Newton is applied on the block. What will happen? The block got moved by 2 meter. The block got moved by 2 meter. So work done has got another formula, which is force into displacement. This is actually basic formula. Work is equal to force into distance. Force into distance. Basically, work is F dot D. It is the dot product of force and displacement. Here displacement is 2 meter and work is, force is 20 newtons. Okay. So if you observe here, the force is in this direction and the displacement also in the same direction. What is the angle between them? 0. So if you put FD cos theta formula, here also you will get FD cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. So you are left with only FD. Okay, because here angle between the force and the displacement is 0. So simply we are writing F into D. You are getting 40 Newton. 40 Newton meter. Okay, 40 Newton meter or joules. Now take another example. Now here what I am doing, now the same block, 40 Newton force is applied, making 30 degree with the horizontal. In this case, how you will find the work means, you have to find the components. You have to find the horizontal component, you have to find the vertical component. What is the horizontal component? 40 cos 30. And what is the vertical component? 40 sin 30. Once you write this, you can forget this 40 now. You have replaced that inclined 40 force with their components. Writing this 40 means writing them horizontally and vertically like this. If you have written 40 sin 30 and 40 cos 60 in the vertical and horizontal direction, you can forget this 40 in the calculation. Forget about it. Okay. So here Definition is work done is equal to F dot D. So if you expand this, it is F D cos 30. F is 40, D is 2, displacement is 2 like in the previous example, and cos 30. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So the 2 will cancel and 40 root 3 will be remaining. Okay. In this case, if you observe, work is done only in the x direction. There is no work done in the y direction. You can say, sir, there is a force in the y direction also, no? 40 sin 30. Then where is the, is it not doing any work? Now tell me, is the block moving in the horizontal direction or in the vertical direction? The block is moving in the horizontal direction. So very, very important point you have to understand is, you have to consider the force and displacement in the same direction. Either they should be same, like parallel, or anti-parallel. They can be 180 also. But you cannot take force in the y direction and displacement in the x direction. Very important point. Again, I am telling, remember. Okay. When you calculate force, when you calculate work, force and displacement should be in the same direction. That means x or minus x or y or minus y. You cannot have force in y and displacement in x. It is not possible. No work is done in that case. Okay. Now here in this question, there is an inclined plane given, similar to that what you have seen, that building question. Now here also there is an inclined plane. The inclined length is 5 meters. The vertical height is 4 meters. Initially the mass was at rest, then it started rolling and it came to the bottom point 2. Now in the question V is asked. What is V? The final velocity. Okay. Now can we find this using law of conservation of energy? The answer is yes. What is the question? Find the velocity at the bottom point. So we can apply law of conservation of energy to solve this question. What does law of conservation of energy says? Law of conservation of energy says the total energy at 1 is equal to total energy at 2. So you have to find total energy at 1. So total energy at 1 is potential energy at 1 and kinetic energy at 1. So find the potential energy at 1. It is mgh, as discussed in previous questions. We don't know the mass. Let us say mass is m. Gravity is 10 and you have to take vertical height, not the inclined height. Many times students do this type of mistake. You have to, what is the reference point I have taken? The ground. The ground I have taken as the reference. Okay. So what do you get? M into 10 into 4. You got 40 m. Don't forget this m. Okay. It is not meters. It is mass. We don't know the mass here. Similarly, kinetic energy at 1. At a top point, the ball is not moving. So it is at rest. So half mv square, kinetic energy formula. So here v is 0. So it is 0. So what is the total energy at 1? It is 40 m plus 0. So 40 m joules. 40 m joules. Okay. Now we have to find out total energy at 2. So same thing, potential energy at 2 plus kinetic energy at 2. So potential energy at 2 we have to find out. Where is that point? It is on the ground. So h is equal to 0. Here what happened? mgh, m into 10. We don't know the mass m. So I wrote m 10. What is the height at the ground? 0. So potential energy at the ground is 0. We have to find now Ke2. It is half mv square. Okay. What is the unknown here? V. So I can say that what is the total energy at 2? Potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy is 0 and kinetic energy is half mv square. So the total energy at 2 is half mv square. And the total energy at 1 is 40 m. You can equate these two. Mm cancels, you get v square is equal to 80 or v is equal to root over 80. So using the law of conservation of energy, we have solved the velocity at the bottom point, at this point. Okay. So this is how you can apply the law of conservation of energy. With simple example I have tried to explain you. You can use law of conservation of energy, and a similar type of question we have discussed using work energy theorem. Okay, work energy theorem also we applied and we solved it. And you should remember that when you are calculating potential energy at a point, you should always take a reference line. However, for kinetic energy it is not required. For potential energy only it is required. So remember that. Okay, for potential energy you have to consider a reference line. Usually ground is taken as the reference line.